Alright, welcome everyone to my first Legacy video. I am playing the Bug Dreadnought deck against Shinpei, who is playing Canadian Thresh, or at least that's what he always plays. So I've won the roll, and let's see what I got. I open up on a decent hand with 2 lands and Stifle, which are most relevant cards in this matchup. So I just go ahead and fetch on my first turn. He wastelands me blind, and I just counter with the Stifle, keep my lands in play, and now I'm up 1 land on him. Draw a Tarmogoyf off the top. Go ahead and play it out here on turn 2. He has no lands in play, so he's in a really rough shape. He ends up forcing it, pitching Fire and Ice, so naturally I have days just completely blow him out over it. And now I have a 2-3 Tarmogoyf in play, and he has absolutely nothing. So he plays a fetch land, playing around my Stifles, because he needs to either resolve his own Tarmogoyf or find a Lightning Bolt to be able to beat it. Let's play land, Ponder, just so I get a sorcery in the yard, and he can no longer bolt my Tarmogoyf. See Wasteland, Brainstorm, and Dreadnought. Plan here is just to keep the Wasteland and draw the Dreadnought second, because Dreadnought can make Goyf a 5/6 if I really needed it to be. And I just bash for 3. He plays another fetch land, not the most relevant thing in the world. Fetches in my upkeep, which is one of the skill plays people should really pay attention to. It forces me to tap mana during my turn to stifle it instead of on his turn, so that way I can do less. I'll go ahead here and just waste him off green, mostly because his out right now is to play his own Tarmogoyf. He ices it. I Spell Pierce, mostly just to get value out of my Spell Pierce, because like I said, all that matters is him resolving a Tarmogoyf right now. And Ice does give him a cantrip, so I'm basically just trading 1 for 1 and getting in 3 damage. At this stage in the game, trading 1 for 1 is perfectly fine. And now he's down to 11. He fetches up a second Volk. Not really sure why. I assume he either has another trap in hand, or he's just trying to double bolt it eventually. So I just go for 3, hold tight. And there he does have the other fetch to get a green source. He goes for his Tarmogoyf, I Spell Snare, and that's the game. Second game, he's in the play this time. I open up on exactly what I want to do this game every time. I have turn 2 Dreadnought with Force Backup, which is absolutely insane. But I'm not really planning on playing turn 2 Dreadnought, because you're just going to get completely blown out if you do that. Instead, I'm just going to try and set up a turn 3 Dreadnought. So I play the fetch land pass, and we just kind of, develop our mana base and whatnot for a little while. Go ahead and draw more lands, which is actually pretty sweet because almost his entire deck is soft permission. He might be bringing in Dispel against us to counter an instant spell for 1 mana. I really doubt it. He's still respecting my days that I showed him game 1, even though I no longer even have it in the deck. So he plays out his Tarmogoyf. On his end step, I go ahead and fetch out a black source and edict it. Not because I really care about his Tarmogoyf, just because he's going to care about his Tarmogoyf, and whatever effort he puts into defending that means he can't defend against my Dreadnought. So he dazes it, and I really don't care all that much. Draw another blue card. Go ahead and play Dreadnought. He dazes it. I do have 2 lands up, so if he lets it resolve, I could Trick Bind. So that is the right time to daze, sometimes. And I go ahead and stifle the ability. I have 12/12 in play to his 2/3. Don't really think this is going to be a fair fight. Draw yet another land. Play out some more lands, bashing for 12. He's down to 6. And only has a 2-3 Goyf up. Goes ahead and bolts me on the end step. His out right now is just a chain a couple Fire and Ice together, or somehow supersize his own Goyf and have 2 or 3 of them out to trade with my Dreadnought. It's not that good of a plan. So he knocks me to 14. In my upkeep, again, noticing doing things in the upkeep to make me tap my mana on my turn, and I don't get the card I drew. He's going to go ahead and try and ice it. I have the Spell Snare, and that's the game. Thanks for watching, everyone.